This is a lecture from Open Tuition. To benefit from the lecture, you should download the free lecture notes from opentuition.com.
This next lecture is only very, very brief. In fact, I've hardly got anything at all, if anything, to add to what's already in front of you. This is a global F4 exam. Yeah, okay. But there are, I think it's something like 196 members of the United Nations, member states of the United Nations. And there's all sorts of conflicts as well with others at the moment, like I believe the Tamils in Sri Lanka wanting independence, and the Catalans in northern Spain wanting independence, and the Irish still wanting a united Ireland. You've got a place like Kosovo in their arguments with Serbia about whether they're going to be a separate country. So the United Nations, Timor-Leste has just joined, I believe, and South Sudan is in conflict with North Sudan, with Sudan. So we have this flexible number of members of the United Nations. It's a global law exam. Is it reasonable to assume that your examiner is going to ask you about the types of business organization that you may find in Timor-Leste, for instance? And the answer is no, you're not. Okay, the bigger ones, USA, Russia, maybe. And I've got here France and Germany and Muslim societies, but we've also got European companies and the possibility of a European company, which is a relatively recent concept. But there's not a lot that I want to say. I can read it with you. Société anonyme in France, Société anonyme, or Société à responsabilité limitée. You're never going to be asked to say these. Never. Well, maybe once, but similar to UK company, a Société anonyme, UK public company, à responsabilité limitée is the equivalent of the French equivalent of a private company. The numbers differ, must have not less than 6, not less than 3, not more than 12, must have an auditor. But all right, but it surely cannot be an important element of any F4 examiner's mindset to say it is really important that you international students should be aware that a French Société Anonyme should have no more than 12 directors, or it should have no less than 3 directors. And for heaven's sakes. So I'm not going to go any more on that. Société à responsabilité limitée, the SARL, doesn't have a share capital. It's like a private company, but it doesn't have share capital. Okay. So what? Commonly used for family companies. Finance divided into parts. The holders can't sell to the general public. Yeah, okay. Germany, Aktiengesellschaft and Gesellschaft mit beschränkter Haftung. Okay. No more. Muslim societies, no separate corporate form recognized by Muslim law, unlike partnerships, which are recognized, but we went through that when we looked at partnership law. European companies, maybe, because Europe is substantially bigger than France or Germany or Liechtenstein. So we'll very quick look. But again, it's only a podcast. Societas Européennes, an SE. A public company, limited liability, minimum capital of 120,000 euros, so substantially greater than the UK public companies. Must be registered in the member state where the company has its administrative headquarters. Well, that's not a problem. That surely cannot be difficult. 4 ways of establishing: by merger, by formation of a new company, by formation of a new subsidiary, or by transforming a company. It already exists in one EU member state. It's owned as a subsidiary for at least 2 years, and then we can register it in another EU member state. I have no more to say. If you desperately want to, then I suggest you could look it up in one of the approved texts. But if it were me, I wouldn't. It's not going to come in your exam.